Happy Tuesday, friends. So I thought I'd hop on midday, just say hey. I went in and seen some clients this morning, have clients this afternoon, so I have this little lull between, and thought it'd be a good time just to get on here and say hey, just to keep the record up. Um, I had a conversation today with somebody, and we were talking about. I was, basically tabling a client that I have that has some body image issues and very low self esteem. And we table our clients. Like, we don't give pertinent details because that's not important. But we do table our clients and, just kind of feed off of each other, get ideas. And, it made me think about how sad, this is. We talk about mental health being, a big deal, and I'm talking about a younger client, okay, a teen, and there's such a body image issue that she's literally just shut down, and she is depressed, and she does feel sad most every day, and she feels withdrawn and alone, and it touches my heart, like I feel so bad. Now I've shared my story some. I've never been a small girl. That just wasn't in my cards. I've been over 300, and I've been down to, I want to say 192. Like, I've been kind of all over the board in the last 10, 15 years. And I can remember that sadness. Like, I can relate to that sadness. And so I'm trying to figure out what we're going to do, because a lot of that sadness and depression comes from the body image that she perceives, and that, the problem she has with that. So we're going to talk about it. I'm just going to be raw and real. Okay. I have been the person since the day that I was born, as far as back as I could remember. I've always had the motto, treat others as you would want to be treated. And so therefore, it's hard for me to say things that just are rude or uncalled for or not needed. But yet I heard a lot of it, And I grew up in a town where I graduated with 20 people. You weren't anybody unless you had a name that carried that. And I can remember being made fun of a lot, And then the thing with that is, my bestie at the time, when I was that age, we were the same size. We shared clothes, but nobody made fun of her. But she was a part of that crew, like, she had the name that made it okay, and you don't say anything to them. And I think about that now, and, I think about all the damage that probably caused me in the moment. Now, I don't remember that. I know that it bothered me for a while, but I've processed it, so it's hard for me to recall it. But I'm sitting here with a client that really is just struggling. And then on the opposite end of that, I struggle with adults. I have adults that are struggling with the same thing. Like, it's no matter where it's at, it's bad. And I think about the choices that we have to make, Like, I never will be small. I never want to be a small person, because if you look at a female's world, like, we're considered plus size. At some stores 14, at some stores 12, some stores 16, some 18. It depends on where you go, okay? So we get this label of being plus size depending on which store you go to, which is very sad. I mean, to be honest. And I can tell you that I have clothes that are a 2X from Torrid, a 2X from Lane Bryant, a 2X from Walmart for a tank top, and they're all different. Like, it's mind-blowing. They're all different. The jeans, I can wear a 14, I can wear a 16, I can wear a 20, I can wear, it's all in between, because that's what they're all different. It depends on if they make it stretchy materials, if they do this or if they do that or whatever. It's a struggle. Like, it's a struggle. And then I couldn't imagine being a younger generation right now when you pick up your phone and you're looking at TikTok and all you see is these people that are getting famous, have lots of followers and all the things, are your average everyday skinny girls. So it's sad, it hurts, it sucks, and I understand. It's kind of like when I talked the other day about going to the doctor for headaches and a neurologist for about a stroke, and his worry was giving me a pill that was going to help with weight loss. Oh, and then it might also help with your headaches too. Like, that's the life that we live, okay? And it's talked about. It really is, like, the negativity around it. It's becoming more of a thing, but I don't think that we're talking to the right age groups. I mean, because the girl that I'm referencing has, personally, to me, no reason to have any body image issues. You know, she's young and she's vibrant and she's still got, I mean, years before she's a teen, and she's worried about, you know, what she drinks and what she eats, and she cries if she eats too much, and she's really trying. And I'm just like, I can't, because when I was that age, I was playing with dolls and I was, you know, doing karaoke and listening to Debbie Gibson or something. I don't know. But body image was the farthest from my mind. Farthest from my mind. Now, a few years later, yes, there was that. But, I mean, at the age that this girl is, it just was not even a thought process. So it's sad. And so I'm thinking about, you know, all the ways that I can try to help this girl. And it all falls back to her. You know, like her thoughts about herself. And her being genuine to herself and her loving herself, you know. I love myself, but I'm going to drink a Dr. Pepper. That's what I'm going to do, because I'm at the age where I'm just like, whatever. I've been through enough, and I'm like, whatever. If you're worried about a beautiful body, well, guess what? I don't care. She's not there yet. So we've got a lot of steps to take. But I was talking to this friend of mine, and we were discussing how big of an issue it's becoming. And you know, we hear, and again, just being very raw and real, we talk about people bullying in school, right? We talk about, you know, be a racial issue or whatever, bullying. But I can guarantee you, I haven't heard anything about her situation from the school counselor or the teacher or anything. But her family can tell me that she's being bullied daily, and the school's not listening. And it's sad, because it's not as important. No, it is. It is just as important. It is just as touchy and just as it's a big deal. And I struggle, because, you know, when I was in, I don't know, middle school, junior high, where all the people are like, she's too big, blah, 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 and they would whisper behind my back. I still remember that. You know, I still remember that it happened. But I have a choice to where now I don't let it hold me down. But what do you do when you're at that age? You know, what do you do when you're dealing with something of this nature? How do you bring that positivity out? How do you create positive thoughts? And it all goes to self-love, you know, loving yourself and loving who you are. And that doesn't change if you're 10 or if you're, 30. It's the same thing. Years ago, I put it in my mind, like, I don't know what clicked. I was just like, you know what? I am who I am, and who I am came from within, and it's important for me to be true to who I am, I told you guys that people often speculate that I eat Burger King or Walmart, McDonald's every day or whatever because I am a bigger person. And truth be told, it's just not who I am. I would rather have something like a vegetable tray to eat, quite honestly, than I would something different. People assume so much. So it doesn't matter how old you are, people are still going to have thoughts, people are still going to have their opinions, people's mouths are still going to run. But we got to find ways within to learn that that's not who we are. It's all about the person saying it. It's all about them. Because in reality, if they were happy with who they are, their mouth shouldn't be running like that. Now, in saying that, if I have a worry about a dear friend or somebody, I'm going to bring it up in an appropriate way, but I'm not going to chastise or make fun of or make them feel at a belittled way. I'm going to offer support before I offer bad words. Because I feel for those that are on like the 600-pound life, and I'm like, man, that's got to be hard. And then you see people like, in real life. And we were talking today about how everybody's running to weight loss surgery. I'm a candidate. I could get surgery tomorrow if I want it. Well, probably not because I just had a stroke, but I could get surgery if I wanted it. My doctor has told me, hey, it's a source if you want to take it. And I'm like, okay, I'm not interested. And it's because of my medical history that makes me a candidate for it. And to each their own. If you want to have surgery and that's what's going to help you, great, go do it. But don't sit there and tell me that I should, because you qualify. Why don't you do it? It'd make you feel so much better. Well, the problem with that is that I have had friends that have had it, and their nutrients become a very, very bad problem. Like a close friend of mine had it, and she became so sick because of a nutritional problem. Now I have another friend that's probably going to have it here soon. Now she's going to rock it because she's aware of her body and she's not doing it for the cloud of it, I guess, like because people think she should. She's doing it because she really wants it, and it's for her, and it's one of those things where she's been probably the same as me. Like we are who we are, but she's to the point where medically she just thinks it's going to help her. So support her on that. But there's those people that fall into depression because they've had weight loss surgery. And I'm just like, whew, it's a lot, weight is a big thing. William just started, or I fixing to start. I really don't remember. Guys, my short-term memory is just, everything has to be wrote down. But he's starting this thing with his buddies, and it's like it's a weight loss competition or whatever you call it. Like they're gonna buy in, and then whoever loses the most weight and percentage and whatever. And it was nice, believe it or not, though I don't remember when it starts. It was nice to hear him talk about it and his encouragement about it. And I'm gonna support him 110%. Because I know personally, like when we left Vegas last time, I told him, I was like, okay, here's the deal. I would like to lose 20 pounds before we come back. He's like, okay. Well, if I had a stroke and that became a little easier, he did say then that he wanted to lose some weight, and it's just not happening. But he's been a little stressed, he has to be away. He's not here able to do everything. So I think, this is going to be great motivation for him. He has a team of help, and not help, but like a team of people that can help support him. I guess they're going to do their little hoorah thing, and that's great. And it caught me off guard because I've never heard him say like, I think I would feel better if I lost weight. I've never heard that. I've never heard him say, well, I'm just too big. I've never heard him really say anything negative about it. I mean, he'll say like, my pants are tight because I'm big, but nothing, he doesn't like gravitate to that negativity. So, for me to hear that yesterday, I was really proud of him. So I don't know, like, I'm hearing more and more men get into the concern of, their image, their body image. And I just want to say this. I can remember in 1985, or whatever, can't remember the exact year, but we ate cow meat, hamburger, steaks. We had good food, and we had roast, and we had all the things, and it was good meals. Like, we didn't miss meals when I was a kid. My grandma was not a small person. My grandpa wasn't I mean, he was tall, but he broad shoulders, but he wasn't a big person. Um, and I have gotten to the point in life where I'm just like, what was different? Well, what was different back then is that people didn't run their mouths and they didn't have social media to say things behind a screen that made it so much easier. What was different is that if you did wrong at your home, at school, or whatever, and your parents found out, you got in trouble for it. We had consequences back then for being little shitheads. And a lot of times it was, I personally didn't get spanked much, but a lot of times it was, you got a spanking on the butt. That's what's different. We have kids that say anything now. We have people that think that they're entitled to share their opinion when, you know what? Their opinion is only that, and it shouldn't matter. And I've heard a lot in the recents. You got to have thick skin. You do now. But you know what? That wasn't a thing 30 years ago, 35 years ago. That wasn't something, like, I'm sure they said it. I'm just positive. But it wasn't something that we had to tell all, like, I could never tell my clients now, you're going to have to get thick skin. I wouldn't do that. But I hear it said to others, and I'm like, or people could just quit being jackasses, right? So I think if we all worked on ourselves a little bit, loved ourselves a lot more, cared about who we are, cared about what we want in life, cared about, ourselves, our families, what's important to us, and loved ourselves, okay, that all of this would be a little different. So I say that to say this. After talking to my coworker, my friend, and talking about this situation, I'm fixing to get off here, and I'm fixing to do positive affirmations. And I will tell you guys this. I Googled from my bed this morning before I got out of bed. There was probably 7 pages that I sent to have myself print. There's words out there all over that if you need help right now finding something, look at positive traits. Print that out. I mean, it doesn't matter what you use. There's resources out there that allow you to do this, okay? And if you need to write it on a whiteboard, if you need to write it down, if you need to send it to your text to your buddy, whatever you need to do to hear whatever you're reading and telling yourself that that's you, then do it. Because that's what we're going to do, America. We're not going to tell people, get thick skin. We're going to tell people, we're important and that doesn't matter, right? Same concept, but it's a little bit gentler on yourself. And it's when you start getting those positive thoughts that those things become less important in life. If my brother walked up today and told me today, you're too big, I would be like, and how does it affect you? Now, with him it would, because, I'm his sister, and if he had an opinion on it, I would listen gladly. But it doesn't mean that I would change my ways, necessarily. But if Joe off the street wants to say something snarky about me being a big person or big people in general, I'm going to let it go. You know why? Because Joe's not determining my thoughts of myself, and you know what? I might be a big girl, but I'm fucking beautiful. I'm fucking beautiful from the inside out. I am a caring, kind hearted person, and I would move the world to help anybody. And if Joe can't see that, Joe has no concerns in my life. Okay? And I've got to get this impounded in this little girl's heart that she's worthy and that she's kind and that she's beautiful and she's caring. And I've got to help her see the beauty comes within. Because you know what? I would never want to be with a person that values who I am because of my outside appearance. Never ever would I. If my little toe swells to this big, William is still going to appreciate me and love me and care for me. If my gut shrivels up and I start pruning away, he's still going to be right there. Those are the people I want on my side, not Joe. But I wouldn't have known that those people exist had I not started loving myself. Okay? There are good people out in the world, and you'll run into them. But when you start opening your eyes and loving yourself is when that's going to happen. That's when it happened for me. I mean, when I started saying, I deserve the best and I'm pretty freaking awesome, that's when my life started changing. You know, when my doctor told me the other day that I could take a pill for weight loss, did it irritate me? Hell yeah, it did. But it didn't irritate it that he said it to me. It irritated me that as a society, he has become one of those people that his opinion of me was more important than my issue. That's what irritated me. So be kind to yourself. Love yourself. And again, there are thousands of websites, and there's even, I have some cards that are like positive affirmation. If you're struggling with that right now, go find them. If you need help, I'll send you links to any Google site you have. Amazon sells cards. I'm fixing to order some because I really have realized how much I need these in my office. So they're out there and they're available to you. And if you need resources, reach out. So I'm going to go try to help a little girl start looking at her body image a little bit different. But it's going to start by teaching her to love herself. So I can only ask that you guys think about what I've said, even though it was a lot, and truly begin to look at yourself and say, I love myself. I'm amazing. And find that. Okay? That's it for today. That's it. Believe in you because I do. Love you because I do. I have no reason to not love myself. None at all. So for now, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end it. But I'm going to say, please remember to like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell for future notifications. Bye, guys.